You wake up chasing something, a feeling, a goal, an outcome. You reach, you strive, you climb, and for a brief moment, you get what you want. But it never lasts. The satisfaction fades, the desire returns, the hunger grows back like a flame rekindled by your own breath. And once again, you're chasing. This is not a glitch. This is the program. And Arthur Schopenhauer saw it more clearly than almost anyone who ever lived. He called it the will. Not your conscious will. Not the personal desires you name and control. But a deeper force. Blind. Irresistible. Endless. The will is the engine of existence. The raw, unconscious drive that pushes all life forward. It wants nothing in particular, but it wants endlessly. It is the reason water flows, animals hunt, planets spin, and it is the reason you are never satisfied. Schopenhauer didn't believe in the romance of fulfillment. He believed that life, at its core, is suffering, because life is will, and will is never at rest. It is always seeking, always desiring, always moving towards something just out of reach. The moment you grasp what you wanted, the next desire arises. A new hunger, a new need, a new discomfort. You think you're chasing happiness, but you're really running from emptiness. And no matter how fast you run, it catches up. This is the trap, the illusion of completion. You believe there's a final goal that will finally make you whole. A lover, a job, a number in your bank account, and you build your entire life chasing it. But when you reach it, the satisfaction dissolves, like mist in sunlight, and you're left with the same hunger, the same restlessness, the same whisper in the back of your mind that says, more. That whisper is the will. It cannot be silenced. It can only be understood. Schopenhauer believed that this endless striving is the root of all suffering. We do not suffer because of external events alone. We suffer because we want, and wanting never ends. Desire is a wound that keeps reopening, and the more you feed it, the deeper it grows. This is why even people who have everything are not at peace. They are anxious, restless, addicted to stimulation, because they have mistaken the fulfillment of a desire for the end of desire itself. But the will does not care what you achieve. It only cares that you keep moving. It does not reward you with happiness. It lures you with the illusion of it, just enough to keep you chasing. And this chase defines your life, from your first breath to your last. You think you're free. You think you're choosing. But most of what you do is the will using your body to carry out its endless hunger. Every decision you make, consciously or not, is shaped by this force. It pushes you to want, to strive, to suffer. And even when you think you've transcended it, when you feel full, accomplished, whole, it whispers again. A new goal, a new longing, a new high. And so you start over. This is the cycle. Want work, win suffer, repeat. And Schopenhauer's great insight was this. There is no final escape within the system, because the system is desire itself. You think your suffering is personal, that it's because of your story, your relationships, your mistakes. But it's not. It's structural. It's built into the very fabric of consciousness, because to be conscious is to want. To be aware is to lack, and to lack is to suffer. This is why you feel restless, even when life is good. Why joy feels thin. Why happiness dissolves so quickly. Because the will is not interested in peace. It is interested in continuation, in more. And so it uses pleasure, not as a reward, but as bait. A moment of relief to keep you moving toward the next pursuit. And the next. And the next. You cannot win this game by playing it harder. You cannot fulfill the will by feeding it, because the more you give it, the more it demands. That's why addiction exists. That's why burnout happens. That's why the richest, most famous, most outwardly successful people often fall into despair. They reached the top and found it was hollow. The castle was made of smoke, and all the gold in the world couldn't silence the whisper, more. Schopenhauer believed this wasn't just a flaw of human nature. It was the truth of existence itself. Even animals, even plants, even stars follow this law. Everything wants, everything moves, everything reaches, but nothing rests, because rest is death to the will, and the will never dies. It keeps pushing forward, consuming itself, creating life just to feed its own fire. That's what you are, a vessel for a desire you didn't choose. A spark in a storm that doesn't end. But here's the turn. Schopenhauer didn't believe that all was lost. He believed there was a way out, not by defeating the will, but by seeing through it, by recognizing its grip, by withdrawing from the chase, not in bitterness, not in despair, but in clarity. He looked to the ascetics, the artists, the mystics, those rare souls who step outside the current and say, enough. Those who stop chasing and start witnessing, who stop reaching and start reflecting, who stop feeding the will and begin to dissolve it. He saw this in moments of aesthetic contemplation, in music, in art, in beauty, moments where, just for an instant, the will is silenced. Not because it has been satisfied, but because it has been transcended. You are not trying to get anything. You are simply witnessing. And in that stillness, something deeper emerges. A peace beyond pleasure. A truth beyond desire. This is rare. Most will never taste it, because most are trapped in the loop. Always reaching. Always suffering. But you, if you are listening, you may be ready to see. You may be ready to stop chasing and start asking deeper questions. Not, what do I want? But why do I want it all? Not, how can I get more? But, what is this hunger that never ends? And when you ask that, the illusion begins to crack. You begin to see the will not as your identity, but as a current you have been caught in. And in that seeing, freedom begins. But make no mistake, this is not easy. The will does not like to be ignored. It will whisper louder. It will promise more. It will try to convince you that fulfillment is just one more goal away. But you have seen through it. You have tasted the pattern. And once you see the loop, you cannot unsee it. This is the beginning of wisdom, the beginning of detachment, the beginning of peace, not the fragile peace that comes from temporary wins, but the deeper peace that comes from no longer needing to win. Schopenhauer didn't offer the comfort of fairy tales. He offered the clarity of truth. And truth, though it burns, also liberates. You will still feel desire. You will still want. That is natural. But you no longer need to be ruled by it. You can see it, honor it, and let it pass. Like a wave in the ocean. It rises. It falls. It is not you. It is the will. And you are the witness. That is the gift. The shift. The awakening. When you stop believing that more will make you whole, and start finding wholeness in being, in silence, in surrender, not in weakness, but in strength. The strength to let go of the endless climb. The strength to say, I see the pattern. I know the game. And I choose a different path. This is not nihilism. It is not despair. It is liberation. Because you no longer chase what cannot satisfy. You no longer trade your soul for moments of approval. You no longer let the will steer your life like a machine with no driver. You become conscious, awake, alive, not with desire, but with clarity. Schopenhauer saw the world not as a machine of progress, but as a cycle of suffering. And yet, within that suffering, he saw a door into a deeper truth, a truth that most will never find, because they are too busy chasing what they cannot keep. But you are not most people. You are listening, you are seeing, and now the choice is yours. You can go back, into the loop, into the hunger, into the chase, or you can pause, breathe, witness, and walk a different road. A road not paved by the will, but carved by awareness. Not by craving, but by stillness. Not by more, but by enough. And in that moment, when the will quiets, even for a breath, you will taste something rare, something real. Not happiness, not pleasure, but freedom. And in that freedom, you will know the chase is over. The war within can end, because you have seen the truth beneath it all. You are not the will. You are not the hunger. You are not the desire that never dies. You are the witness of it all. And that is enough.